There we go. Not sure why it keeps doing that. My microphone just whenever I move it, it like disconnects the USB for some reason. I don't know why it's doing that. It's really annoying. Because I had it was working when I pressed the mic button, and then I moved the arm over in front of me, and then it stopped working. Which is great. So what I was saying is that we're going to be playing Lamplight City today. It should be the last session of Lamplight City, I believe. I think we're kind of wrapping up the last case, so I think it's going to be this is going to be the last episode of it, and I'm quite excited. It's going to be a bittersweet because you've enjoyed the series. Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Not that it's bittersweet, but I'm glad you've enjoyed it. Hey, pal. All right. I just want to get right into it, to be honest. I will ask, how are you guys doing, though? How has your day been like? Because I've had an alright day. It's been fine. Got some stuff done. Got some more video done. It's getting there. It's really getting there now. We're pretty much well over halfway. So, yeah, I can see like the amount I have to do just dwindling, and it's like, oh, we're getting there. This 80. It's actually 76 minutes rather than 80 minutes because I cut bits down. But it's still, a very long video. It's nearly done now. I'm very excited for you guys to see it, and I'm just working on it a lot. So I'm not sure if it'll be like anytime within the next week or so, but maybe not. Maybe not this weekend, but the weekend after is kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe for this video, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. It's like I said, it's getting there. So it's closer than you think. All right. Let's launch up Lamplight City. So what are you guys been up to? Meh. Still hoping to hear from the place you interviewed at, and day's been pretty alright. I've been playing Asphalt 9 Legend on Switch. I have not heard of that. All right. Let's boot it up. Lamplight City. If Steam has decided to freeze. Nope, no, there we go. I think. Yep, it's up. All right. Will I be joining for Sonic Racing? Yes, I will be joining. That'll be on Weird FTW's stream. For those of you who don't know, Weird FTW is going to be streaming Team Sonic Racing, and I should be up for that. All right. Lamplight City. Managed to buy an Oculus Rift S. Nice. Justice. Oh, I come up with some funny save names sometimes, don't I? What have I actually got in here? So there's Ding, Coffee, Tomb, Plants, Hunting Cabin, Accusation. It started off quite simple. Shipyard, Spooky Club, Walker, Kidnapping Case, Got Drunk, Masculine Wiles, Oh Shame, Opium, Woofy, Darius, Justice. These save names have gradually gotten more and more unhinged over time. People immediately spot the Gabriel Knight influence, but far fewer get the Lost Files of Sherlock Holmes and Marges. That's fair enough. Not as many people have played those ones, to be fair. I mean, Gabriel Knight is obscure enough as is, but I don't think people have played those Sherlock Holmes ones. Alright, so we were on the trail of the Justice Killer. That's it. Who has probably something to do with the flower shop.
Interesting place for a flower.
Thanks, Bill. And Bill's kind of salty with us, I remember. I guess let's have a little... I think we can go out now. Maybe some Lost Files in the stream at some point? Yeah. The Consulting Detective FMV. Yeah, I've got those on Steam, actually. Been meaning looking at them at some point. Alright. Houses of Parliament. Oh, boy.
Fordham, what brings you to this delightful spectacle?
Hello,
I know.
Edwards. I'm investigating the Justice Killer. I believe I've got a very promising lead.
I heard an officer mention new orders from Snelling, but I thought he was just pulling my leg. Feel free to have a look around. I'm just writing up the notes
I just
from
had
my
a
initial
thought.
examination of the body, so I'll be happy to share my findings.
Good. I'll just get started then.
The pictures for each for each of the crime scenes, they included the flower within frame. Almost like the photographer knew it was there. Maybe I'm overthinking that, but that's a possible.
Nothing but a bunch of boring documents.
I think he's just. I think it's an apron.
Consider enough to keep something scandalous in here.
Because he is a mortician. He's the guy who works at the morgue. That's like an apron, and he's got like a coat, a velvet coat over his apron. So yeah.
Looks pretty fresh. I wonder what the
Hey,
killer
Stone.
uses to write with.
Valkyria. How you doing?
These appear to be books on cryptography. I suppose everyone needs a hobby.
Yeah, yeah.
The former Percival McDonough, being a good politician.
Are you saying that the only good politician is a? Yeah, okay, you know, I get it. He can be both a gender fluid mortician. Hey, why not? Don't see a flower in this room. Yeah, makes you wonder. Why is the
Odd. The page for this month has been torn out. Do you suppose Edwards might know anything about that?
That is curious.
Leave it to a politician to hang a portrait of himself in his own office.
Got a moment, Edwards?
Of course. What's on your mind?
So, what was found at the crime scene?
A dead body.
Yes, that's.
Edwards.
Just trying to lighten the mood a bit. Anyway, there was also the word justice written in blood, as you can see on the floor there.
Yes, I can see
that
that
all?
bit.
What more do you need? All the pieces are in place. This is the work of the justice killer.
Is it though?
What did your examination of the body turn up?
Apparent cause of death was a single gunshot to the head, exactly like all the other victims.
Right.
The bullet is still lodged in his brain. I'll remove it once I transport the body back to the mortuary.
Anything else?
No personal effects of note, just a folded up piece of paper in his breast pocket. It's blank, so the police weren't interested. I assume you aren't either.
Never assume, Edwards. I'll take it if you don't mind.
Be my guest.
The goggles make this guy look like a steampunk cosplayer. It's just that the goggles is like so cliche steampunk. I love it.
Did the police manage to learn anything during their investigation?
Not much beyond what I've already told you. I think they were planning on speaking to the victim's wife, though.
What?
Did you get the
Yeah.
address?
I did, as a matter of fact. 1820 Kent Place.
Ooh.
Now we get to deal with the grieving widow. Hopefully the officers who delivered the news got the worst of it.
All right.
Did you find an Easter lily anywhere?
An Easter lily?
Yes. The justice killer leaves one at every crime scene.
Is that right? I never noticed.
Neither did anyone else, apparently.
What
So
kind
how
of
is leaving
place
a lily at the scene of the
working in
crime
this
to get
place?
into all of this?
I'm still trying to figure that out, but I think it might be important to understanding his motive.
Well, be sure to let me know if you do figure it out. The thought process of killers is a twisted, curious thing.
Indeed. I'm kind of suspicious of this guy all of a sudden, honestly.
What's your take on this whole justice killer situation?
It's giving me a lot of extra work, let me tell you. We haven't had a serial murderer in a long time. Not since that fellow who was poisoning people about 10 years ago.
Ah, yes. Gascon Gould. Now there was a case.
Any theories or insights regarding the killer's motive or identity?
That's not really my specialty. If you want to get into that psychology stuff, you're better off talking to someone like Snelling.
Yeah, this whole murder, it does seem a little bit strange, actually. I would agree, Remole. I kind of had that thought. Because I thought if there's no Easter lily anywhere, then it could easily be a copycat, because that particular detail of the Easter lily being left at every crime scene has not been added to any of the official reports. So, common knowledge wouldn't know that it was there. So yeah, I think you might... I would agree with that.
Does it feel good to be out of the office?
As long as I have the chance to examine a body and learn something in the process, I don't care where I am. Though I do admit a preference to working in my own environment. Fieldwork can be a bit uncertain. There's so much more potential for contamination, especially with those clumsy officers trouncing about groping everything.
Whoa.
Present company excluded, of course.
Edwards, did you notice McDonough's desk calendar?
I did. This month has been torn out. I asked the officers investigating the scene, and they had no idea what happened to it.
I wonder if there was like
So it
a
wasn't found in this
meeting
room?
scheduled, perhaps.
That's right. My theory is that the killer took it.
Which means there was probably something incriminating written on it.
Yeah.
If only there was some way of knowing what it was.
Like a meeting on a
Come on,
particular
have
day
you
with a
forgotten the
particular
oldest trick in the
person.
book? Just find a pencil and you'll have that information in no time.
Oh, of course.
Edwards, do you have a pencil I might borrow?
Of course. Take this one.
Thank you.
That's a good trick. Thank you, Bill.
That's all for now, Edwards.
Good luck with your investigation.
Okay.
A classic trick.
Let's
see if it
see.
works.
So... Uh-huh. This is a little bit strange to use, but, oh, hold on. Here we go. T. Shackley, Ruby, 8 p.m. Looks like all of them. Didn't have much on the agenda, did he?
Intriguing. We'll need to find out who this Ruby is.
Interesting. Hold on.
Aha! McDonough met with this person the night of the murder. I'll bet 500 crowns it's a false name, but at least it's something.
Yeah. Okay.
No time to wait.
I wonder if there's anything else. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be an East Lily anywhere. Alright, yeah, I'm leaning towards copycat on this one as well. Perhaps it's like an inspired thing. Someone who's been inspired by the Justice Killer. Let's go talk to the grieving widow. That's always fun.
What?
Bit rude, Fordham.
Who are you?
I'm Miles Fordham, private investigator. Your butler just announced me.
Can't I just
Oh, of
walk
course.
into a room and
Forgive
just
me, I
clear
was
throat
just-
to get
well,
attention?
Never mind. Please make yourself comfortable, Mr. Fordham.
Thank you, Mrs. McDonough.
Your butler, who we didn't bother to animate. Well, you don't really need a butler animating, do you?
I appreciate you seeing me, Mrs. McDonough.
Implications enough.
I know you must be going through a difficult time right now.
What exactly is it you want from me, Mr. Fordham? I already spoke to the police about my husband's murder.
I just have a few questions of my own.
Oh, very well.
Okay.
What can you tell me about your husband?
I'll tell you the same thing I told the police, Mr. Fordham. Percival was one of the hardest working members of Parliament. He took his job extremely seriously. The recent election caused him a terrible amount of consternation, as I'm sure it did most people. He took Atwood's loss rather hard.
Did you see much of him?
I beg your pardon?
Surely someone with such an important position in government could find themselves consumed by their work. Did he spend much time at home?
Oh, good
He
point.
made it a point to come home and have dinner with me every night, even if he had to return to the office afterwards.
Well, that's
And
nice.
Did that happen often?
At least 3 or 4 times in a week, yes. He'd stay in his office working late into the night. As I said, he was very dedicated to his role.
What was he now?
Sounds to me like she's quite dedicated to hers, too.
Did your husband have any enemies?
He was a
He
politician,
was a
so...
politician,
Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Fordham. Half the city hated him.
Did he ever receive any kind of threats against his life?
None that I was ever made aware of. I have no idea who could have killed him, let alone who could have gotten into his office to do it. He hadn't told me about any meetings or appointments this week either.
Was
I
it
knew
his
about a
custom
few.
to inform you of his work affairs?
Oh, well, I've always taken an interest in my husband's work. He'd often mention initiatives he was working on or people he was meeting, that sort of thing.
Well, that's nice.
Nothing sensitive or confidential, you understand. Just conversation about his day.
Okay.
Can you think of any reason why your husband would have been murdered?
Not really. He was a vocal opponent of the construction
I wonder if
of the
that's something to do with the,
Gascony Bridge, but I hardly
the
think
airship that
would have been
crashed.
sufficient reason to drive someone to murder.
Why is that?
Well, it's just a bridge, isn't it? There are plenty of other ways to get to Chumley.
I meant, why was he opposed to it?
Oh, because the amount of money required to build it is exorbitant. Public funds should be used on roads and buildings that are falling apart. What's the point of having something shiny and new if everything around it is in disrepair?
Yeah, I wonder if it has... Because something that was mentioned earlier on in the game was an airship that crashed, killing a lot of people. Considering this is the Justice Killer, someone looking for justice, justice for what? And that's the only thing I can think of that could possibly, you know, be a motive for justice. Like a major disaster like that. Was it a lot of politicians who've been killed? it would have been the government that was in power at the time. Atwood's government. Makes me wonder.
How are you feeling, Mrs. McDonough?
My husband of 42 years was shot in his office. How do you think I feel?
No, that's fair.
Tactful as always, Fordham. How do you do it?
My apologies.
Shut up,
Perhaps
Bill.
that wasn't the most appropriate question. Is there anything I can do to help?
You can start by finding the monster who murdered Percival.
I'm working on it.
Are you familiar with the art of cryptography, Mrs. McDonough?
What an odd question.
It's just I noticed several books on the subject in your husband's office.
Oh, well, yes. Percival was interested in cryptography and secret messages and the like. He would sometimes leave me coded notes when we first began courting many years ago.
What kind of notes?
Okay.
Oh, now, Mr. Fordham, those were private.
Oh,
But Percival
so they were
got
sexy
a thrill
notes.
out of knowing I was the only one who could read them.
Definitely sexy notes.
Sometimes he would write them using a special ink that would only appear when the paper was heated.
Definitely sexy
I
notes.
can't remember the last time he did that, though.
Okay.
Do you know anyone named Shackley?
No, I've never heard that name before. Why?
I saw your husband had a meeting scheduled with him shortly before his murder.
That can't be right. He didn't tell me about that. He always told me about his meetings.
Unless
It
there was
was written on his
something
office
that he didn't
calendar,
want you to
clear
know
as day.
about.
As I said, I don't know who that person is. Why wouldn't Percival have told me about their meeting?
Why indeed?
Every one of them translated into a dick pic. So it's just like, it's just the number 8, a whole bunch of equals, and then a 3. Not a 3, sorry. A D would be better, wouldn't it? Yeah. I'm trying to think how to make a... Never mind. Let's talk about Ruby.
Are you familiar with someone named Ruby?
I can't say I am. Who is it?
Just a name that's come up in my investigation.
Sounds like the name of a trollop.
Wow.
Or perhaps a dog.
I hope there are no rubies here.
Have you heard of the Justice Killer?
That was the name the police mentioned when they told me about Percival's murder. It's absolutely terrifying to think that one sick person could be capable of such evil.
Who said it's just
Why
one?
is he called the Justice Killer? What justice was done by murdering
No
my
luck
husband?
catching them killers then.
I'm afraid I can't answer that right now, Mrs. McDonough, but I intend to find out. Those
Are you
all
gonna
the
get a Hot
questions I
Fuzz
have for
twist?
now, Mrs. McDonough.
All right, Mr. Fordham.
Like a whole secret society beneath Lamplight City who are committing these killings. It's just the one killer, actually. Yeah. I'm thinking we might get a Hot Fuzz twist. Okay. Anything interesting in here that could...
They look expensive, but I bet they're totally worthless.
Uh-huh.
I feel sorry for the sucker who has to clean them. They look expensive.
Alright.
They look
Alright, it's all the same thing.
just a painting of some boring old aristocrat. Surely this one
gotcha.
was called Lady Felicity Euphemia Beaversnatch the Simple.
I don't like the name Beaver Snatch that you come up with there, Bill.
Lord Alfred Edward Shufflebottom the Wise comes to mind when looking at this one.
I like that one.
This one looks like a Lady Camilla Prudence Wigglewaddle the Grey.
Okay.
I think I'll call this one Lord Edmund Henry Lickspittle the Elder.
I like this game. Thank you, Bill. Oh, that's a funny little bit. I enjoyed that. Okay. Let's see if there's anything in here that I missed.
Nothing but a bunch of history books. These appear biography, history book.
See if there's anything.
No signs of forced entry that I can see. The murderer didn't come in through this window. No time to...
I don't have any other topics of conversation right now. I'm not sure if I need to be here, actually. Let's have a think. So we've exhausted all our options at those places. I guess we'll have a look at... Go to the police station. See if we can get some more information here.
Fordham, how goes the investigation?
I'm making some headway.
Is that right? I certainly hope so for your sake.
Ah, Chief Jacobs. Now there was a leader.
He's got an interesting hairstyle.
The rumor was always that the chief kept a bottle of something in a secret compartment in this cabinet. In Snelling's case, it's probably just water. The rumor was...
Okay.
Chief
I'm
Snelling?
not gonna shit on his desk.
Fordham?
At least not right now.
What information do you have on the Justice Killer?
Clearly not as much as you.
No, you
I
don't.
see how this is gonna go.
Well, what do you have?
A list of 5 victims, some information on each of them, and no clear idea what connects them. Until your discovery of the lily at each scene, that was
Yeah,
where
not when
we
he's
stood.
here.
Well, I doubt this discovery
Undoubtedly.
will do much to aid in tracking him down. I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
You know anything about Percival McDonough?
He's a member of parliament. I believe his constituency is somewhere in central Kingsland.
Ooh,
From
constituencies,
the reports
eh?
I've gotten, McDonough led a rather unassuming life for a politician. He is, however, the first victim who didn't live in Chumley. Either there's a link we've missed, or the killer is changing his method.
That's also worth
Then
noting.
again, since you seem so confident in your abilities to resolve this matter, I assume you'll provide an explanation.
Yeah, because it's a copycat.
What do you know about the Justice Killer's previous victims?
Only what's in their files. All working men from Chumley. That's the only link.
You didn't look further into their personal lives? Maybe they had some social connection.
As I said, the detectives found nothing. You seem to think you can do better, so I'll leave it up to you.
Well,
I have to wonder how much more thorough the department's investigations would have been if the 4 men were all rich like McDonough.
good point.
So I see the department is still running like a well-oiled machine.
It is, in fact. But I'm sure Upton has kept you well informed of our activities. Incidentally, the woman accused in the Harris kidnapping is set to testify in court today.
Oh, nice.
Linda Walker's trial is today? That was fast.
Indeed. Sometimes the wheels of justice grind slowly. Sometimes they spin out of control. She'll be taking the stand within the hour. If you care to hear her for yourself, best get going soon.
Okay, so if you don't try and shoot the thief, Bill dies anyway, and like basically is kind of blames you for not taking the shot. I suppose we're kind of screwed either way on that one then.
Listen, about Leger's death.
I don't want to hear it, Fordham. What happened, happened. Nothing you can say is going to change my opinion on the matter.
And if I manage to find the man responsible?
The man responsible
Hey.
is standing before me. Even if you manage to find the culprit you let escape, it isn't going to bring Leger back from the dead.
Or is it?
But it will bring closure to the matter.
If that thought is what allows you to sleep at night, then so be it.
What makes him think you sleep at night?
Enjoying your new position, Snelling?
Reaping the rewards for years of hard work and dedicated service. A gratifying feeling you'll never be able to experience.
Yeah, we're gonna poop on his
I
desk.
get my gratification in other ways.
I'm sure you do, and I'd honestly rather not know about them.
I
Hey
need
man.
to get back to my investigation.
Yes, time is not on your side.
Hey, 10 elements.
Fordham.
And thank you for the follow, J Money Mills.
Every book and file in there is organized to perfection. I'll bet Snelling gets flustered if anything is even a millimeter out of place. You should bump into the side when he's not looking.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Every book and file. You should
Okay.
bump.
I don't think there's anything else I can look at here. So I guess we'll just have to teleport to the door. Ah, the courthouse.
Remind me, Miles,
Ah.
why are we here again? Is this for your own personal satisfaction, or did you expect her to have some useful information?
Well, you never know. It might be connected somehow.
Mrs. Linda Walker, you stand accused of kidnapping Charles Harris. What have you to say in your defense?
Hello, Drifting Light. Thank you for the
I had
65
to
bits.
see if I could speak with my son
Hello there.
Alexander again.
Yes. According to your initial statement, you seem to believe that the Harris child is the reincarnation of your own deceased son.
All the evidence was there. I thought it had to be him.
And in regards to the execution of your plan, you secretly administered a soporific drug to
I
your
remember
friend
this, yeah.
and the Harris family nanny.
This is the second
Mrs.
case we
Henrietta
solved.
Davis? Is that correct?
Yes. I felt terrible about doing it, but there was no other way.
According to your journal, you used a mixture of chamomile and valerian, instructed by a Samuel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Samuel is a friend of mine. He works at the docks, and he knows all about plants. I asked him what the best combination of herbs would be to put someone in a deep sleep.
So it was your idea.
I wonder if we can go
and
talk
not
to
his.
that guy.
Yes, that's right. He only told me about the plants. He's quite the expert. Why, you should see his collection of Easter lilies.
Is that so?
Did she just say what I think she said?
Now then, let's turn our attention
Easter
to the
lilies, you
question.
say?
Interesting. This Samuel person might be worth looking into. Although we can't waste time searching the docs with just a first name. I'd make a note of it, just in case it becomes relevant later. All right, I've had enough of this courtroom. Let's get back out there. Time's running out.
All right, Bill, chill. Don't think there's anyone else in that court. There's just like a jury and then like the lawyer and the judge. No one turned up. No one turned up for the case. Let's have a look at our case book. Whoa! Welcome to the stream, Cat, and thank you for the raid with the party of 4. How you guys doing? Can you run out of time? I don't think you can run out of time. I don't imagine you'd be able to. Ah, these are the previous victims. Hannibal Kirkland, age 32, cause of death, single gunshot wound to the head. I said, why, there was no wound there. Why did I say that? Okay, single gunshot to the head. Occupation, ironworker at Thorbum Ironworks, Shumley. Police found Kirkland in his home after his former reported Kirkland's absence from work. Apart from the word justice written in blood, nothing unusual was found at the crime scene and no witnesses came forward. Investigation into Kirkland's personal life and habits revealed nothing of interest. Destroyed a Cornate flagship. Made it ram to an asteroid, okay. Failed the mission that takes me closer to winning the war. Sounds good. Right, Reggie Willingham. Age 47, single gunshot to the head. Occupation, cabbie for Coulson's Cabs. Police found Willingham in his home after a missing persons report was filed by his employer. Crime scene was inspected, but aside from the word justice written on the wall in blood, nothing unusual was found, no witnesses came forward. An investigation into Willingham's personal life and habits revealed nothing of interest. Ennis Bowditch. Age 29, single gunshot to the head. Construction worker at Gascoigne Chumley Bridge. Police found Bowditch in his home after his employer contacted the police. So something that links them so far is that the employer were the ones that kind of brought it up. Is it... Are these people without families? Is that like a specific thing? Okay. Crime scene shows signs of modus operandi of the so-called justice killer, but no other leads or clues were found. No witnesses came forward. Investigation and questioning of Bowditch co-workers and a former lady friend proved fruitless. Burley Cause. Age 26, gunshot to the head, lamplighter working from the Central Lamp Depot, Worcester. Officer Douglas Parsons discovered Cause in his home after a report of a gunshot was made by neighbour Ethel Williamson. Parsons surveyed the scene and found the word justice written in blood. No leads or clues. Investigation. No habit. Okay. Having lots of thoughts, actually. There's a lot to say about the fact that the people who reported it aren't family. These are people without families in some way. I feel like that has to be relevant somehow, but I'm not entirely sure how. That's opened up some new locations for us to investigate as well. Let's have a look at... Let's do these in general order. So, Thorbum Ironworks. Oh yeah, I've heard of Strange Eons. My girlfriend quite likes her content, actually. With the long Furby thing. My girlfriend really likes the long Furby thing.
Well, that doesn't look good.
Hey, it doesn't look good. There's something...
This place sure is big. I wonder if they actually make anything useful.
Alright, let's talk to the foreman.
Excuse me, sir. Are you in charge here?
Unfortunately. Who are you? This area isn't open to the public.
I'm Miles Fordham, and I'm a private investigator looking into the murder of one of your workers.
A Private investigator, eh? And maybe you can help me out.
I'll do what I can, but I'll need to ask you some questions, Mr.
Mims. Sanford Mims.
Sanford
Go ahead.
Mims. That's a
Make
great
it
name. It reminds me of the gravekeeper from Gable Knight, actually.
What can you tell me about Hannibal Kirkland? A former employee here?
Listen, I've got a lot on my mind right now.
I understand.
Yeah,
but
I
it's
could see
important to
that.
my investigation that you tell me what you know about it.
I'm sure it is,
Oh, look,
but as you can
rocks.
see, I've got a lot to deal with.
Thank you for the 90 bits.
Please
Oh,
don't help.
look, rocks.
Maybe you can figure out a way to help him help us.
I wonder. I wonder. The fortune will make me a copy of the Mask of Light. You know, you never know, he might do.
What happened to your iron mill?
What's it look like? The damn thing went and got blown up.
Yeah, I can see
Was it in
that.
disrepair?
Of course not. All my machinery is sound, checked and serviced regularly. This is the work of those goddamn Redites. I'm sure of it.
They do seem to do a lot of sabotage, so I could believe that.
What makes you certain the explosion was the Redites doing?
Take a look, boy. The whole mill got taken out. Even if this had been a mechanical failure, which it wasn't, the
You can't
explosion
rule
would
it
have been
out.
contained to a single part of the machine. This couldn't have been anything other than sabotage.
Have you had problems with the Redites before?
They've sent anonymous letters, but this is the first time they've actually carried out one of their threats.
Huh.
You're absolutely sure this was sabotage then?
Yes. How many times have I got to tell you
You
that?
don't need to be rude about
Listen,
it.
You said you were an investigator, right? So find out who did this to my machine. If you do, I'll help you out with whatever else you wanted to ask me.
You got it, Chief.
Looks like we haven't got much of a choice. He seems pretty upset
Did I
about
stutter?
his machine.
I'll see what I
Yeah,
can
that's
do.
pretty much what he just said. Okay. All right. You
I'll
won't.
be going now.
Be careful on your way out.
Oh, that's nice. Hey, you're back. You were at a socially distanced barbecue. That sounds interesting. Employee area. All right.
Hey, that area is for workers only.
If you want me to help
My
you
apologies.
out, oh my god. If you want me to help you out, I need to be able to talk to the other workers. Are you serious, dude? You are not helpful.
Completely ruined. Whoever sabotaged this knew what they were doing.
Is there anywhere in?
This place.
Mr. Mims, a word if you wouldn't mind?
I see if we can like
Yes,
talk to him,
what is
allow
it?
him to let me in. No.
I'll be...
Right. I'm gonna do a save actually, just in case. Oh. Okay. Thank you for the 150 bits drifting light and the Tom Baker moan. I think the sound was slightly delayed there, but it still worked. I'm not sure if we can do anything there just yet. Bridge construction site. Let's have a look here.
Safe for only 25 men at once. I used to draw the line at 2.
Oh, Bill.
Excuse me.
Hey, what are you doing here? This is a construction area.
I can see that.
I'm Miles Fordham, a private investigator. I'm looking into the murder of a man who used to work here.
Who? Bowditch?
That's right.
I got nothing to say about him, and neither do the rest of the boys.
I've only got a few questions. If you could just...
Interesting.
I've got nothing to say to you. You want to know more about Bowditch? Go talk to his little woman.
Where can I find her?
Ruin Coffee House. She's the serving girl.
Is she?
Now get out of here. If something falls on you, I'm not gonna take responsibility.
Short and to the point. I can respect that, even if it's extremely unhelpful.
I wonder. Ruined Coffee House. All right. Ah, it's been a while since I've been here.
Begging your pardon, miss.
How can I help you, sir?
You look very pale.
I understand you were involved with Ennis Bowditch.
Was involved, yes. I haven't spoken to him in nearly 2 months.
Oh, were you not
Oh.
aware of his death then?
What? Ennis is...
Very tactful.
Well, This is awkward.
Come on,
Indeed.
Miles,
I'm
buddy.
Sorry to have to be the bearer of bad news.
How did it happen?
I'm afraid he was murdered.
Murdered? By who? And why?
I'm trying to figure that
Those
out.
are exactly the questions I'm trying to answer myself.
Oh, I see.
Dean's social
Were you a
cues,
detective?
definitely.
A private investigator, yes.
Well, I'll answer what I can. If it helps any, that is.
I'm certain it will. What was your relationship with Mr. Bowditch like?
Oh, well, it was nice at first. He was a proper gentleman-like. But then something changed.
Oh?
It's like I told Ruby. I think he might have got hit on the head at work.
Ruby?
Because he seemed to be
We've heard of a
completely
Ruby.
different
Tell me more
person.
about her.
He'd get angry for no reason. Well, that bit's not important. At first, I thought he was just going through some rough times, but after a while I realized he'd changed for the worse. So I broke things off. He wasn't too happy about it, but I wasn't going to stick with a man like that.
Too right. Tell me about Ruby.
This friend of yours, Ruby, did she know an MP named Percival McDonough?
I'm not sure. Ruby knows a lot of men.
Is that so?
Well, no, I don't mean... It's just...
Oh, come on,
damn it all,
Miles.
my big mouth. She'll have my guts for garters now.
It's all right. No one's in trouble. But I think I'd like to speak with Ruby. Could you tell me where I can find her?
No. You see, she moves around quite a lot. Never in the same place for more than a night or two.
Right. I think she's given us a clear picture of
Yeah,
what Ruby does
we've
for
got
a
the
living.
picture on that
Normally,
one.
I'd be all for pressing this girl more until she cracks, but I like it. I think we'll be able to find Ruby without causing her more discomfort.
Well, thank you for the information. You've been very helpful.
Can I not ask for anything else? Oh, I can.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
Justice Killer? Is that some kind of pesticide?
Not quite.
No. It isn't. Never mind.
Never mind.
You've been working here for quite a while, haven't you?
I have, yes. Coming up on 3 years. Been a real pleasure getting to know all the regulars. They've come to be sort of like a second family. By the way, whatever happened with you and your lady friend?
I beg your pardon?
Oh my god.
Oh, that nice lady you met in here a couple of times. Did it work out between the two of you?
Yeah, just...
Oh, that? No, that was strictly business.
Oh my god. The dog's barking.
Well,
Hold on.
if you see her, tell her I said hello.
I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you, sir.
This patented pesticide called the Justice Killer. Right. Okay. So... Thank you for the follow, the Redman 36. So where else can we have a look right now? We can go to Central Lamp Depot and Coulson Cab Depot. I think Cab was the next one along. So let's have a look here.
Remember, a black eye is not a badge of honor. Anyone picking a fight will be dismissed immediately. Well, that's hardly any fun, is it?
Let's talk to this guy.
You're looking for a job.
You just missed this one. Thank you for the 50-bit drifting light. It's a fun one.
Actually, I was wondering if
I miss seeing it sometimes. Hey, O'Neill.
Problem.
So,
did you know Reggie Willingham?
Reggie? Sure, I knew him. Well, just as rather I didn't.
Oh? Why do you say that?
The man was a bore, a scoundrel, a no-good bounder.
I wish he would tell us how he really felt.
Only reason they kept him on here was because he was a good driver.
So it's fair to say you didn't like him?
Nobody did. When I heard he'd been killed, wasn't exactly a surprise.
Interesting.
If I treated people the way he did, I'd surely have a lot of enemies.
So from what I've noticed so far, the common link between them is A, they don't have family that like care about them, and B, their work colleagues weren't particularly fond of them either. It sounds like the Justice Killer is specifically choosing people who aren't loved, who wouldn't be missed. Undesirables, exactly. Interesting. I'll have to see if that continues on with the last guy as well, because I think it's obviously different for Percival McDonough, who obviously was a politician and had a wife, so that would be a lot more high profile. A lot of people were fond of him. A lot of people weren't fond of him being a politician, but he had a loving wife. it doesn't match the MO at all.
Could you elaborate a bit on Mr. Willingham's behavior?
Oh, he was a proud one. Thought he was God's gift to mankind. Always strutting around, bragging about how many gratuities he'd earned or how many fist fights he'd won against drivers from Phillips. He had the shortest fuse I've ever seen, too. Just looking at him the wrong way could set him off. I'd always laugh to myself when he'd brag about how many women he'd had in a week.
Why is that?
Because it was obvious he had to pay for the pleasure. A man like that isn't going to get a woman otherwise.
Are you familiar with the so-called justice killer?
Might be a link with the sex workers as well.
I've heard a few rumors here and there about some murders in the Chum, but I haven't paid him much attention. There's plenty for me to worry about in my own life.
Aren't you concerned for your safety?
Not really. Well, I haven't done anything wrong. So if this loony's going around doing justice, nothing for me to worry about.
He makes a good point. I think we need to get a better idea of what exactly these victims did to incur the wrath of our killer.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about Coulson Cabs?
Not a bad place, really. Only problem is the number of people always coming here for work. Lots of folks think driving a cab is an easy job that anyone can do, but that's not the case. You need to know this city like the back of your hand, and it helps to know how to drive.
That's fair.
So
you do need to learn not to drive.
The slightest clue what they're doing. They don't last long.
What about the automated cabs? Are those a problem for you?
I prefer not to think about those. Coulson has said he's got no plans to replace his fleet, so it's all that matters to me.
So you're a driver here?
I am, sir. The pay isn't so great, but beats starving to death in the gutter.
Ain't that the truth?
I don't know what else to tell you, really.
Another day, another
Have you had
dollar.
any trouble from the Redites?
No, sir. They got no reason to give us any trouble, what with us still using horse-drawn cabs. I imagine the fellas over at Phillips have, but I can't be certain. We don't deal with those a lot if we can help it.
I don't think interviewing anyone from Phillips would be a good use of our time. Our priority is finding the justice killer, after all.
I appreciate your time, sir.
Pleasure's all mine.
I thought about a career as a mechanic once. Glad I chose police work. Way less messy.
Not sure that's how I phrased it, but thank you, Bill. Okay, so the last one is Central Lamp Depot. Oh.
You there! What are you doing?
I'm Miles Fordham. I'm trying to find out about...
No time for that now! Get in here and shield your eyes!
I beg your pardon?
Just do it!
What's going on exactly?
Everything ready, Alex?
Freeman. Hello, Gordon.
3, 2, 1, go!
What's going on here, then? Seem to be doing a little bit more than just lamps.
Amazing! It works! It works!
What works?
Etheric lamps!
Oh.
Our experiment was a success!
What exactly have we wandered into here, Miles?
Yeah, we kind of... Why didn't you lock the door?
May I ask you a few questions?
Of course! What would you like to know?
Oh my god, he has this... He has the same goggles that, what's his face had? The Mortician. That's interesting. That is interesting. Also, I'm going to quickly just go to the toilet. I'll be right back. Only be like a minute or so. Let me just pop this on. Be back in a moment. Right. Okay, I'm
Do
back.
you know who ate all the donuts?
Good timing. Thank you for the 25 bits, Okonoi. I don't know who ate all the donuts. Maybe it was this guy. He does look like a shady figure. Let's find out about Burly Cause. That's an interesting name.
You worked with a man named Burly Cause, is that right?
Yes, I heard he was killed. Such a senseless tragedy. It's a shame he missed out on our demonstration. He was really interested in etheric technology.
Wasn't he concerned about losing his job to these technological advances?
He had no reason to. It's been made clear to all the workers that there will always be a place for us, even if our jobs are made obsolete. Unlike some other places, we take care of our own here at the Lamplight Depot.
How noble. But I'm pretty sure he's full of more hot air than the HMS Lenore.
Okay.
Is there anything you know about Mr. Cause's personal life that might be relevant?
I know he was married, but I don't believe
That's
he
a
had
bit
any
different
children.
then.
Oh,
Okay.
and he used to talk about his love for fishing.
Could you give me his home address? Perhaps his wife will be willing to speak with me.
Yes, certainly. He lived at 820
That's an exception.
Orchard Avenue, apartment 2A.
Thank you for the information.
That might throw a wrench into my theory of undesirables being the ones killed, unless we found out from his wife that he was actually a bit worse than we thought.
Do you know any details about Mr. Cause's murder?
Unfortunately, I don't. The police were here asking questions, but they didn't give me many details.
Do you know of anyone who might have wanted him dead?
Not at all. Burley was very friendly, always treated everyone around here with respect. You know, it's sad to think that for all our leaps forward, we're still really just a bunch of savages.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
I've read about it in the newspaper. A horrible business. It makes me wish we could install more street lamps to keep this city safer at night. Someday, I hope to realize that dream. Then we'll really deserve to be called Lamplight City.
You think brighter streets will stop serial murderers?
It's well known that crime rates are lower in Lyon and Worcester, and they have many more street lamps per
Yeah, they're
square
also
mile.
richer areas.
I'm sure it has
That's
absolutely nothing to do with the amount of wealth in those areas. It has to be all about the lighting.
It's the lighting, of course.
You mentioned something about etheric lamps?
Yes! Weren't you paying attention to our demonstration? You have just witnessed history!
What I witnessed was a blinding flash of light.
Exactly! That flash was the result of years of painstaking research and experimentation. It means that not only does ethericity exist, but it can be used as a source of illumination. If these experiments continue to be successful, as I suspect they will, we'll have etheric street lamps before the end of the decade. Imagine lamps that burn twice as bright, 4 times as long. Oh, this will change everything.
I think you're
And
overselling.
if it's like anything else we've seen, it'll put a lot of people out of work, too.
That's true. It seems like each worker was in a business that had something to do with advancements in technology in some way. Like, the foundry is kind of like a tech thing. The bridge was all shiny and new. As it was said. The cabs, they're kind of... That specific place wasn't concerned with automated cabs, but would the Redite necessarily know that? And this is obvious. It's a bit more obvious of advancements in technology, so yeah.
With all these promises of
That's
technological
a
advancements,
stab in the dark with that
have the
one.
Redites given you any trouble?
Oh, those tech-fearing dolts. Yes, I'm sorry to say that we've gotten threats from them. They have yet to carry any out, which is unsurprising.
Does seem
How
like
so?
a lot of them are all
Proofs like
talk.
that are all bluster and no backbone.
I've seen some evidence to the contrary.
Is that right?
What if
Well,
the Redites aren't the
we've
one
seen little
doing
beyond
those
threatening letters,
sabotages?
and I intend to make sure it stays that way.
You have any of these letters I might have a look at?
Yes, I have one. I'll give it to you before you leave.
Well, that'll be handy.
What is it you do here exactly?
Oh, several things. This is the main hub of the city's
They would be easy
Department of
targets to frame.
Illumination.
Yeah.
It's really just a grandiose way of saying that this is where all affairs related to street lamps and public lighting are taken care of. But in addition to sending out lamplighters or mechanics to repair damaged lamps, we also do research into new methods of illumination. That's what my personal specialization is. I help develop and test more efficient ways of lighting our streets.
Uh-huh.
I guess you could consider me a modern-day Prometheus. Yes.
Very good, very
More
good.
like an everyday pretentious.
Thank you. Your cooperation
Nice
is
one,
much
Bill.
appreciated.
Happy to help.
I would high five Bill if he had any corporeal form.
Here's that letter you were asking about.
To the engineers of chaos and destruction. Oh, this is a nice font. You are working in direct opposition of the natural order of things. These so-called improvements will be the downfall of our society. If you do not cease your unholy experiments, the Redites will be forced to take action. You have been warned. PF. Who is PF?
Now that's interesting. Whoever wrote this letter signed it with initials. They can't have been so stupid as to make themselves so easily identifiable.
Graham, watch out! A poisonous snake!
Thank you for the 100 bits, Drifting Light. A poisonous snake. Everyone needs a Bill in their life, I agree.
I wouldn't get too close to that thing. It might end up turning you inside out. There's the bunch of crap they use to build street.
Alright. I think we've got another couple of areas to explore. Burley Cause's apartment. Because we wanted to find out whether or not he had a good life at home, whether it was, you know, whether his wife loved him. It's kind of the main thing.
There doesn't seem to be anyone at home.
Anyone here then?
Yeah? May I help you, young man?
Hello, madam. My name is Miles Fordham, and I'm a private investigator. I have some questions about your neighbor.
You mean my former neighbor?
Yes. In any case, I'd appreciate it if you could help me with some information.
Nah, I don't think so.
You can't just say no.
To ask me about him was that awful policeman. I don't want to have to go through that again.
I'm sorry you had a bad experience, but I can assure you I won't give you a hard time.
No, that's easy for you to say. But actions speak louder than words.
Uh-oh. I think I know where this is going.
Is there anything I can do for you then?
Oh boy.
Well, since you asked.
Want me to pick up any shopping?
My layabout husband is out wasting our retirement fund with his drinking. Go find him and bring him back here. Then maybe we can talk.
Oh boy.
Wonderful. Now we're playing babysitter.
You'll find him at the Silent Raven. It's not too far from
I know the Silent Raven.
Yes, I know it.
Good. My husband's name is Kurt Williamson. You tell him his wife Ethel wants him home at once.
I'll do my best, Mrs. Williamson.
Technically, if you're a private investigator, can't you refuse to answer any questions? That's true, I suppose. I'm not actually... Although I am working in official capacity with the police, though, in this case. Silent Raven. Alright, Kurt, you drunkard. I still haven't cleaned up that blood.
Looks like they haven't bothered cleaning this up yet.
Yeah. Kurt, is that you?
Excuse me, are you Kurt Williamson?
That's right. Who are you?
Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator.
Oh, yeah? What is it you want from me?
Ethel sent me to tell you she wants you to come home right away.
I should have known. I can't get away for more than a few hours before she's put the entire city on high alert. How much of my retirement fund did she waste on getting you to come down here?
I'm only doing this because I need some information.
The joke's on you, then. You can just go back and tell her I'll come home when I'm damn well ready.
Okay.
Why is it you're so averse to returning home?
I enjoy going out and having a good time. Is that so wrong?
Your wife told me she doesn't like you spending your money on drink.
What I spend my money on is none of her business.
I think it is her business because you are married.
What's this world coming to when a man can't even drink in peace without all his affairs shouted from the roof?
I don't like you.
You know, this whole situation seems awfully familiar.
Can it, Bill?
Listen, Mr. Williamson, I think I know what you're going through.
Oh, yeah?
My wife and I were having a rough patch. I wasn't being honest with her, and it nearly drove us apart.
But you managed to fix things.
Yes, I was fortunate.
Yeah, I'd have a good time, and I'm just feeling so attacked right now.
And what did you do?
I told her the truth, that I hear the voice of my dead partner. I communicate honestly and open. I showed her a good time. Oh my god. That's one of the options. I feel like that might be what he wants to hear, but I don't think that's the right thing to say. I feel like that would work, but I'm not sure if I should go for it. I don't think this guy wants to hear, oh, that communicating honestly and openly. I think we should just be like, hey, what up, lads? What up, lads? You know what I mean? If you want to speak to a lad, you've got to get a bit laddish. It's just that's the old adage right there. I'm not sure though. I feel like that's like a blatantly bad option, but it might be the right one because this guy's a piece of work. I want to see what you guys say on this one. Do we lad it up, or do we just say we're honest? We communicate honestly. Because... Definitely not the first one, because that's just like gonna seem really weird. You're not taking responsibility for it up. Light it up. Alright. I'm doing it.
I showed her a good time, if you get my meaning.
You dog. Unfortunately, that method of
Dang
dealing
it.
with things doesn't really work for us anymore. But I appreciate you trying to help. I'd like to buy you a drink.
Okay.
Appreciated, but I think I'll pass. What about going home?
Like I said before, I'll do it when I'm ready.
Well, we got him to like us a little bit more.
Maybe there's another way to get him out of here.
I'm guessing all those options didn't
Been
work.
pretty quiet in the streets of late, hasn't it, Bertie?
You noticed too? I thought it was just me.
I'm not complaining, mind you. It's nice to be able to go out and about without stepping over half the chum in the process.
Indeed. What do you reckon's the reason for it?
I'm just listening in here.
Not a clue. Can't be illness. We'd have heard something by now. Whatever it is, let's just hope it keeps up.
Okay.
Excuse me, barmaid?
Hi, what do you need?
Ooh.
Do you know anything about the man sitting at that table
Some
over there?
options to talk about.
Not really. He comes in here a few times a week, but he mostly keeps to himself. I see his type all the time, though. Older, probably retired and looking to escape his home life. I feel sorry for him, but that sort of customer is my bread and butter.
That's fair.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
What is that? Some fancy drink concoction?
Made you almost as much as choosing whether or not we shut the flower shop.
To a serial murderer here in the chump.
I see. Never heard of him. And if he's smart, he won't show his face around here.
You know, this place suddenly feels just a little bit safer.
Yeah, just a little bit.
How are things here now that the election hubbub has subsided?
Oh, right. I thought you looked familiar. You were the one in here asking about the fellow who was killed.
I was.
Well, there hasn't
Don't
been
make
too
me
much
laugh.
excitement since then. I've hardly had to toss anyone out, which is a right shame.
Why's that?
Kicking out a rowdy customer shakes things up a bit on a quiet night.
Thank you,
like
Drifty
this.
Life, for the 110
Gets the
bits
blood
and the master laugh.
You know?
What would a customer have to do to warrant being thrown out?
My general rule is if they're being a nuisance, they're out. If they try to pick a fight or are just being generally disrespectful, it's a one-way ticket to the pavement.
Let's get him to
outside.
be disrespectful.
No. I appreciate you taking the time to chat.
Yeah.
There's got to be some way to get him back home. We just need to figure out the right thing to say.
Barkeep Lily rules the stream chat in the same way.
Never thought I'd see that
Oh.
bridge finished in my life.
Got some more eavesdropping to do.
I know. Who'd have thought?
They're saying it might even be done by the end of this decade.
Bet you're looking forward to spending more time in Gascoigne. Eh, Rose?
God no. I will be caught dead there. Nothing but a bunch of thieves and drunk sailors. I'm just looking forward to not getting seasick anytime I need to cross the river.
The bridge helps some of the working class people from getting over into the sort of the richer areas. I wonder if there's a motive there in preventing the bridge from being built.
And any can
That's why I'm eavesdropping. Is like, you know, there's little details that could help with the cases.
I don't like it when the streets are this quiet.
Excuse me, barmaid?
Hi, what do you need?
Anything else?
You pick a fight or just be bothersome enough that other...
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can't really... I can't really think of a way to get him out just yet. We might have to go somewhere else first. Maybe, this lady might give us some information about her husband that we can use to rile him up. This game does have a nice soundtrack, pal.
You again. Any luck with Kurt?
Not really. I tried persuading him, but he wasn't very receptive.
Yeah. Well, at this rate, he'll barge in here after midnight completely out of his gourd, singing that ridiculous song.
Which song?
Yeah, some dreadful song he always loves belting out when he's had a few too many. Something about being down among the dead men.
Down Among the Dead Men? Why, that was one of my favorite drinking songs. Seems oddly appropriate now.
I wouldn't mind it so much if he could actually carry a tune, but it winds up sounding like a dying cat.
Right. I'll go and see if I have better luck with him.
Maybe we can try and get him to sing then. If you try and get him to sing, I don't know, maybe you'll think it's home time or something. Or insult his singing and say it sounds bad.
Let's hope this works.
Oh, this?
Here's a health to the queen and a lasting peace. May faction end and wealth increase.
Come, let us drink while we have
Miles definitely can't sing.
There's no drinking after death.
Oh, here we go.
He who would that health deny, down among the dead men, down among the dead men, down among the dead men, let him lie. Come, let us drink while we have
Excuse
breath.
me, barmaid.
For there's
This guy's being really annoying. Can you kick him out?
after death.
That man at the table's causing quite a racket. Don't you think he should be thrown out?
Maybe, but seeing as it was you who got him started, I've got half a mind to toss you out.
You're
as
very
well.
perceptive.
As long as he shuts up in a bit, I'll let him have his fun.
Dang, she got
He's
me.
in here often enough. He's earned it.
Dang it. Okay, that didn't quite work out to
I appreciate
plan
you taking
then.
the time to chat.
Yeah.
And he who would that
Well,
health
if you
deny,
can't beat 'em.
down among the dead men, down among the
Oh, God.
dead men, down among the dead men, let him lie.
Oh, God. She's sick of it already. Miles' singing must be immediately worse because she's like, you already sang one extra line.
What are you talking about?
Come on, both of you. It's about time you went home, don't you think?
No, I'm fine. Just one
Aw.
more and I'll go.
I don't think so.
Miles' singing's
Now, come
not
on.
that
I'm
bad.
asking again.
Oh man, we've been kicked out the bar.
Ah, so nice when I get to do that.
All right.
That barmaid has no sense.
Yeah, I did it. I got kicked out of the bar.
Guess
Thank you for
it's
the
time to
best
be
drifting
heading
light.
home. Have a good night, Mr. Fordham.
Lovely. Kicked out of the bar. I'm gonna do a save because I don't know what's gonna happen from this point, so I'm just gonna keep it. Down among the dead men. Oh yeah, we wanted to be here, didn't we? I was like, where are we going? Okay. All this just to get some information from this old lady.
Ah, Mr. Fordham, thank you so much for getting Kurt back home.
Don't mention it. Now, would you be willing to answer some questions?
Why, yes, of course.
The Silent Raven. Whoever decided on that name has never met a raven. That's true, they're quite loud.
Tell me what you know about Burley Cause.
He and his wife hadn't been living next door very long, maybe 4 months or so.
Mhm.
But I didn't talk to either of them very much. They weren't interested in being neighborly, I guess.
That's not very helpful.
It's a shame, really. Maybe if we had known one another better, something like this could have been prevented.
What makes you say that?
What happened on the day Mr. Cause was killed?
I was here at home doing my knitting as usual. All of a sudden, I heard a loud bang. It sounded like a gunshot. I went and knocked on Mrs. Cause's door, but there was no answer. I did notice a smell, though, like flowers. Something seemed wrong.
Interesting.
So I decided to report the incident to the police. Not long after that, an officer showed up and started asking questions. Awful man he was, so rude. I gotta report him, but I forgot his name. I think it started with a P.
Parsons?
Ah.
Yes, that's him. He called for some more officers and they got into the apartment. That's when I found out Mr. Cause had been murdered.
How did he get along with his wife?
Where is Mrs. Cause now?
I don't know, with her mother maybe. That's usually how it goes.
You wouldn't happen to know where that is, would you?
Afraid not, but there is one other thing.
Go on.
Don't say I told you this, but...
Aha!
Well, I used to hear the two of them through my wall.
I knew it.
I tried ignoring it since it's really none of my business, but it became impossible.
What was it you heard?
Arguing, right?
I don't believe they had a happy marriage.
That
They
could
had
my theory
fights
continues.
times a week.
What would they fight about?
Oh, all sorts of things. The worst one was when she discovered he was going to a brothel.
You know what? I think
he
that's
might
a
have hit her
link.
on a few occasions too, but I can't be certain. I hope you don't think me a horrible old gossip, but I thought you might like to know.
No, that's very helpful. Very
Not
helpful.
at all. I'm glad you told me.
I'm not excited about the couple being, you know, a bad things happening in a couple. I'm excited because it confirms my theory that there is like an undesirable aspect. And yes, like remember it says, there's the link with the brothel. I think these four men all were regulars at the brothel. They were all known to be people who weren't well liked. They didn't have family who really cared for them. They weren't liked at their jobs that much. Basically, these are people that wouldn't be missed. Which means, I think we need to find out where this brothel is, because whoever the killer is clearly hangs out there a lot. Either as a patron, or as a worker.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
You mean the serial killer who's been killing men in Chumley?
That's the one.
Brothel of Death is my new novel.
What?
I'm just pulling your leg, Mr. Fordham.
I like this one. She's got spirit.
Yeah, it reminds me of you.
Unfortunately, I only know what I've read in the Gazette, but it's scary to think some maniac is loose on the streets doing such terrible things. And with Kurt going out by himself for hours at a time, oh, I don't like it one bit.
I'm not sure if Kurt is specifically at
How
risk.
long have you been living here?
Well, Kurt and I moved in shortly after we were married, so it's been about 34 years.
That's a long time to be in the same place.
Goodness, that's a long time
Yeah.
to be living in one place.
That's what I was thinking.
Yes, well, the building may be a bit run down, and it gets colder than cold in the winter, but the rent has always been cheap. You can't really ask for
Still
much
no
more
Easter
than
Lily at the
that.
MP's
I
office.
appreciate
Yeah,
your time, Mrs. Williamson.
that's
Have
true.
a good day, Mr. Fordham.
There is a link with that as well. A link with Ruby. It could easily still be a copycat, though, from that is related specifically to the brothel. Can we eat the Easter lilies? I don't know if they're edible.
There doesn't seem to...
Alright, definitely no one there. Right, okay. Lilies are poisonous to cats. They might be poisonous to humans as well. I don't know that for sure. Pictured there was the Justice Killer. That's the laugh that they were doing when they were killing those 4 people. Thank you for the 250 bits, Drifting Light. Alright. We need to figure out this bit as well. So... we still got the lamp depot. We can still got a ruined coffee house. And we've got something to figure out there as well. Maybe we can ask some more of Missing McDonough.
Hello again, Mr. Fordham.
Probably.
Okay, she doesn't got anything more to ask. I was just wondering if we can get any further information out of her right now. We definitely have something to do here, but I'm not entirely sure what.
Completely.
Mr. Mims, a word if you wouldn't mind?
Yes, what is it?
Are you sure you can't tell me anything about Hannibal Kirkland?
It's like I've told you. I've got to deal with this mess. I don't have time for your questions.
Right.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
The who?
He's a serial murderer who's killed 5 men over the past 4 months.
4?
Is that right?
Possibly 5.
Never heard of him.
He may have killed one of your men. Weren't the police here asking about it?
Oh, is that what that was all about? I know they came poking around here a while back, but I was busy dealing with other things.
It's nice to see the lines of communication here are wide open.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been the foreman here?
Sometimes I think it's been too long.
Doesn't answer the question.
Things were so much easier before we got these machines. They keep saying they're supposed to improve our lives, but they've been nothing but trouble. I've already had 5 of my best men get mangled by some of them. And then there's these damn fools blowing things up. My hair wasn't this gray 5 years ago, you know. I swear one of these days, I'm just going to pack it all up and retire. Let someone else deal with these damn things.
You know what? You should do that. I think that'd be good for you.
Be careful on
You
your
seem
way out.
stressed.
No way we'll be able to go down there right now.
I need to be able to investigate this a bit more. But I don't know
This place sure is.
if there's anything I can really do here yet. I mean, this is like somewhere it says I can go, but it just
completely.
It just acts like a comment. Alright, where should we look? Let's see if there's any more people we can ask questions to. Okay. Actually, these people might have something I can eavesdrop. Can I? No? Can I?
You heard about the murder?
Here we go.
Justice Killer?
Wait, hold on. You have to be in a...
You're telling me, yeah.
I have to be here.
I know. It's
Right.
all over the place. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's actually not helpful. It's just blah blah blahs.
There's gonna be someone there.
Okay, well that did not help me at all. I cut off the eavesdroppings. Any further questions I can ask this fella then?
Chief Snelling?
Yes, Fordham?
The Redites.
Have you got any information on the Redites?
That'll be helpful.
The Redites? That ridiculous gang of troublemakers? Yes, I have some information.
Do you?
What's your interest in them?
A witness is refusing to speak with me unless I can figure out who sabotaged his iron mill.
I see. All I can offer is a list of names of known Redites along with their last known whereabouts. But I remind you that you only have until tomorrow afternoon before this indulgence expires, and I throw you in jail. This seems like a waste of time.
That's my decision to make.
Very well. I'll give you the list when you're ready to leave.
I need to get back to my investigation.
Yes. Time is not on your side, Fordham.
Is it now? Or is it not now? Now, give me that list. That's
Here
giving
you
me...
are. This is the most recent list of known Redites.
Clovis Sullivan, Guy
This is
McKee.
a lot of names. If we're going to track down this saboteur, it might be best to retire to a more tranquil environment. Fancy a trip back to Upton's?
Okay. Peyton Ferguson. That's a PF. That is a PF. That's someone we should probably look at first.
Right. This should be a quiet enough spot to concentrate on finding that saboteur. I just hope Upton doesn't mind you turning her parlor into your own personal study.
You start putting like
I'm
strings
sure she'll have
and
no
like
objection.
evidence up everywhere.
Now, let's
looking
have a
like
look at that
that
list
that meme from Is It Always Sunny or something like where he like got all the stuff all over the walls and he's like looking a little bit crazed. I'm gonna be like that. Okay. Clovis Sullivan.
I think we can rule out Mr. Sullivan as a suspect. He's Western Vespucci's problem now.
Interesting.
Unless Mr. McKee has escaped from prison, which I highly doubt, he's not our man. Paris Wilson. Those initials don't match the ones on the list. I don't think this is our suspect.
Was that too naturalistic?
Oh, the screech always gets me. Thank you, Drifting Light, for once again unleashing that from Tom Baker. You're gonna finish this book review on YouTube, and then you're off. Okay. I'll see you later, Drifting. You take care. Thanks for coming along and donating so many bits. Nice to see you.
If dead men could cause explosions, let's just say things would be a lot different. This clearly isn't the right suspect.
Okay.
Peyton Ferguson. The initials match those on the letter we got at the Lamplight Depot.
I'd say it's our best bet.
What about Lucian Donaldson?
Lucian Donaldson. Those initials don't match the ones on the letter. I don't think this person is our suspect.
Okay, so Peyton Ferguson is kind of like the person we need to be looking into right now. Can I just... Okay, there we go. Peyton Ferguson. We should have a new location open up for him then.
Well, well. Who's this lovely specimen?
Allow me to introduce Peyton Ferguson, known Redite and prime suspect in a sabotage at the Thorbomb Ironworks. I picked him up and brought him straight to you.
Ooh, a saboteur. Just leave him to me and I'll make him feel right at home.
Please find the Justice Killer soon, Miles. Being Giles' prisoner is not my idea of a good time.
Right. I'll leave you to it then.
That was weird. Okay, so maybe now that we've taken him into custody, this guy'll be more willing to cooperate with us.
Mr. Mims, a word if you wouldn't mind?
Yes, what is it?
Are you sure you can't...
It's like I've told...
Okay.
I found the person responsible for sabotaging your iron
Well,
mill.
we think we have.
Oh, yeah?
His name is Peyton Ferguson. He's currently at the Bow Street Jail.
Hey, not bad. I owe you one, Detective.
Yes, you do.
Certainly does.
Tell me about Hannibal
What can
Kirkland.
you tell me about Hannibal Kirkland?
Good worker. Mostly kept to himself. Real shame what happened to him.
Do you know if anyone here disliked Kirkland?
This would be important.
Enough to want him dead? Nah. There's the occasional scrap, but everyone around here gets along for the most part.
Okay.
Like I said, he mostly kept to himself. Head down, didn't bother nobody.
Do you know what he did outside of
So he
work?
wasn't like
No
disliked,
idea.
but he wasn't
Only
necessarily
ever saw him
liked
here.
either.
You said Kirkland was a good worker?
One of my best. I knew something was up when he didn't show up for a couple of days. Don't think he'd ever missed work before.
Interesting.
Did he have any personal effects he kept here, or an area where he worked?
He had a cabinet downstairs in the workers' changing area, just like everyone else. You can go take a look if you want, but I don't think the police found anything.
Well, I'm sure I might find
is the
something.
third one from the left.
Third one from the
I'll be
left.
going now.
Be careful on your way out.
Thank you, Mr. Mims. Third one from the left. I'm going to save a lot more because I get the feeling that there's possible bad things happening. I don't know for sure. Possible bad. Okay. Kirkland's cabinet. Oh damn. What did he say the number? I don't know it. Did he mention the number? Gents, please stop shaving in the showers. The cleaning lady almost tore my head off. She says the drains can't take all the hair. Heater. Hold blank paper up to heater.
I wonder.
If this actually works, I'll eat my...
I don't actually know what's happening here. Ah! Dearest Mary, words can express the regret and sorrow I feel for how I acted last night. Swore myself I would never harm you again after the last time, but I have failed us both. It is my deepest hope that you can forgive me, and I trust that I will never let this monster out again. Well, that's curious. Percival hurt Mary somehow.
I'll be damned.
What was that you were saying about eating your hat?
Yeah, well, the joke's on you, Miles, because I no longer have a mouth.
Doesn't seem to stop you from talking all the time, though. In any case, this is certainly an interesting revelation.
At least having a heater down here. Sounds like there's someone in there. If you weren't so bashful, I'd suggest joining in. You could certainly use it.
I wonder if Mr. Mims knows his locker combination.
Mr. Mims, a word if you wouldn't mind?
Yes, what is it?
Would you happen to know the combination to Hannibal Kirkland's cabinet?
No. Every worker sets their own combination, and I don't ask for it.
What happens if they were to forget it?
Okay.
Well, have them come up with some sort of personal reminder and keep those in a file.
And do you still have Kirkland's?
I'll give it to you as soon as we're done talking.
That'll be very helpful.
I'll be going now.
Be careful on your way out. There you go. You're lucky I only clean out my files at the end of the year.
See, I always told you I wasn't disorganized. Just preparing for the future.
The shipwreck, the red and white, the sign. Well, there's a 5 there. Seven. Shipwreck, red and white, sign. Red and white. Is this the sign? And that's the red and white? So is it 753? Yep, that's it.
Empty. That's disappointing.
Oh.
Not completely empty. There's something at the bottom here.
The Gilded Lily. 12 refined ladies in waiting. All sizes. Petite, skinny, buxom. I think we've found our brothel. Special. Present this handbill and 50 shillings for the normal 1 crown treat. 450 Petticoat Lane, Chumley.
It seems our friend Hannibal had a few extracurricular activities after all.
Gilded Lily, huh? That's a bit suspicious.
Who knew such a pretty flower could cause such an inconvenience? The answer to that question is me, in case you were wondering.
I'm excited about the
Flowers
case,
bring
Tenwin.
nothing but trouble. Trouble and snot.
That's enough, Bill. We need to get a move on.
There is nothing more exciting than solving crime. The Gilded Lily.
Well, hello there, handsome. Welcome to the Gilded Lily.
I'm here on strictly
Come over
business.
here and tell me what kind of pleasure it is you're looking for.
I'm afraid I'm here for business, not pleasure.
Exactly.
Oh, well, that's just a shame, isn't it?
Not really.
I'm Miles Fordham, private investigator. And you are?
You can call me Serafina. I'm in charge of this.
Sounds like a water brand.
You won't mind if I take a look around or ask you some questions?
As long as you keep to the front room, you can do whatever you like. Beyond that, you're gonna have to pay.
Maybe it's best if you leave this part out when you tell Adelaide about the case later.
Probably for the best.
Looks nervous. Wonder if this is his first time.
May I ask you a few questions, Serafina?
Of course you may, but I can't guarantee the answers will be free.
Oh, dear God. Oh, she's got an eye patch. Cool.
Do you know anything about the Justice Killer?
I'm afraid not, dear. I don't normally associate with killers.
Are you sure you don't know anything? He's the reason I'm here.
Well, I can assure you I know nothing about your murderer. If the trail has led you here, it's surely just coincidence.
Yeah, she seems awfully certain of that.
Hmm.
It's a good thing we don't believe in coincidences.
You're suspicious.
Did you have a man named Hannibal Kirkland as a client?
I make it my practice not to learn the names of any customers here, Mr.
Well, that's
Fordham.
highly convenient, isn't
I hate
it?
to disappoint anyone who comes through those doors, but discretion is paramount in this business.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
at least you know you can trust these women with your secrets.
Thanks, Bill.
Do you by chance have a girl named Ruby in your service?
Ruby? Yes, she's one of our newest girls. She's not in any sort of trouble, is she?
Not at all. I merely wanted to speak with her.
Well, she should be in the dressing room. If you go through the rear door and follow the hallway down, it's the last door on the left.
I see. Thank you. Did you know Percival McDonough?
The politician? I knew who he was, but never met him personally.
He was seeing Ruby, wasn't
She
he?
is pretty badass
Not
looking, isn't she?
regularly, no. In fact, his first and only visit with her was yesterday.
Were you aware that he was murdered shortly after that?
I had no idea. How terrible.
Yes, it is terrible. This means she's lost a potential repeat customer.
Yeah.
This is a lovely establishment you have. And such a nice name,
Don't
too.
flirt.
Thank you, my dear. It wasn't always called the Gilded Lily, though. We were formerly known as Le Maison de Tolérance.
What inspired the name change?
Ah, that's a bit of a long story. Not worth getting into.
I think it is.
How long have you been
If,
operating?
you know.
Going on 25 years. Business has been good. There's a reason this is the world's oldest profession, you know.
Fair enough.
So, how did you get into this business?
Why did you ask
Like
that?
many of the other girls, it was the best of some bad options. I had no interest in being beholden to a husband. I may be a fallen woman, but better to fly and fall than to have your wings clipped.
Do you enjoy the work?
Okay.
It's a job like any other, Mr. Fordham. There are good days and there are bad days. But my girls are my family. We take care of each other. I couldn't ask for anything
Sounds like a decent establishment.
Time.
At least
Of course,
people
my
are well
dear.
taken care of. All right.
Oh, hello. Did Serafina send you back here for me?
Well,
yes,
technically.
but not for the usual reasons. I'm a private investigator. My name is Miles Fordham. Ruby, I presume?
Yes, that's right. What do you need from me?
Just some information.
Well, I'll do my best.
Okay.
The girls here don't get much in the way of a dressing area. Still, something is better than nothing, I suppose.
Who's that?
Lily, 1809 to 1843. I wonder what happened to her. That's a nice locket for being such a cheap piece of jewelry. No lilies? Seems like a missed opportunity.
Well, that's probably a solution for something. 313-2213. Interesting. I don't know what
I'm
that's
guessing
for.
this is where most of the girls keep their personal belongings. Doesn't seem to offer much in the way of privacy. I'm guessing.
Nothing else I can look at there. All right, let's talk to Ruby.
So, Ruby.
Yes?
All right. We've got quite a few options to get through here.
Have you heard of the Justice Killer?
No, I don't believe so.
He's a serial murderer who's killed 5 victims, mostly men from Chumley.
Oh dear. That sounds dreadful. Is that what you're investigating?
It is. Do you know anyone who might have some information about him?
I don't. Sorry I can't be more help.
Okay.
Did you ever have a client named Hannibal Kirkland?
No, that name doesn't sound familiar. Sorry.
Okay.
Do you know Ennis Bowditch?
Bowditch? Didn't think I'd be hearing
Aha!
that name.
There's a link.
As I understand it, he was seeing your friend, the serving girl at the ruined coffee house.
Yeah, that's right. Annabelle. She broke things off with him a while ago, though.
So she said. Did you ever know him to be violent?
Violent? The bastard nearly beat Annabelle's brains in once. Why do you think she chucked him?
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
At least she had the good sense to get rid of him.
Domestic
Perhaps we
abusers?
should go confirm this newly discovered fact with Annabelle.
Perhaps the Justice Killer is specifically goes after men who have attacked women in some way. Interesting.
Did you ever meet a man named Burley Cause?
No, I never met him, but one of the other girls had him as a client. I remember because she was laughing about his name. He wasn't very burly,
Or being unfaithful,
if you get what I
perhaps,
mean.
yeah.
Right. Are you familiar with Reggie Willingham?
Oh, him? He had to be banned from here.
Really? What happened?
He got way too rough with one of the girls.
And there's another one.
She ended up shy a few teeth.
Dear Lord.
Yeah, apparently he wasn't too fond of boundaries. Good riddance to him, I say.
Men who attack
Were you aware that Mr.
brothel
Willingham
workers.
was
Not
murdered?
necessarily brothel workers.
Now I feel terrible for saying good riddance. I meant...
Because
I
Percival
think I know what
McDonough
you meant, Ruby.
attacked his wife. Just the once. According to that note, it was just the once. But it was... Once is bad enough, you know? And maybe if someone caught wind of that, they would assume that it had been going on maybe longer and go from anywhere.
You met recently with Percival McDonough, is
Interesting
that right?
piece of information.
How did you know that? I thought he was meant to keep those sorts of things private.
He had your name written down in his calendar.
And you found me here based on that?
Well, I am a detective.
Yeah.
Suppose that's
Took
true.
a little bit of
Anyway,
figuring out, but
yes,
you know.
I only met him the one time. There wasn't anything remarkable about him. After we finished, he got all emotional about his wife, but I could hardly understand what he was saying. I hate it when they cry afterwards.
Yeah.
That's a rather nice portrait. Who's the subject?
Oh, that's Lily. Before my time. Serafina knows loads about her. Even changed the name of this place in her honor.
Is that right?
You might try asking her if you want to know more.
How long have you been in this business?
Only a few months now. Used to work at a kitchen, but then they brought in some of those new automated machines.
Sadly familiar story.
At least this profession isn't in any danger of being made obsolete by steam tech. Cold steel can never replace a warm touch.
Let's just hope that's true.
I'll just leave you to it then.
Thanks, love.
Well, let's hope in Lamplight City too there's no sex robots. Let's ask about Lily here then.
May I ask you a few questions, Serafina?
Of course you may, but I can't guarantee the
Sex
answers
electric
will be
boogaloo.
free.
Could you tell me about the young lady in the portrait hanging in the back room?
Ah, that's Lily Peterson. She was a wonderful woman and a great friend.
What happened to her?
It's a rather tragic story, Mr. Fordham. I'd rather not go into too much detail. The short version is this. She was with a client who got very carried away. She was able to defend herself enough to mortally wound the bastard, but the damage had already been done. The girls and I decided among us that we would rename this establishment in her honor. Some days it's still hard to believe she's gone. I haven't even been able to
I'm
get
starting
rid
to
of her
piece this
box.
together a bit more, I think.
I'm very sorry for your loss, Serafina.
Thank you, dear. It was especially awful given Lily's past. Her sister died at the hands of her own husband some 16 years before.
I see.
Some people just can't escape tragedy, no matter how far they run.
Huh. Something tells me these deaths are significant. It might be a good idea to learn as much as we can about Lily Peterson.
I would agree with that.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, my dear.
I'm starting to piece together the motive for a lot of these murders. Seems like the sort of the link between them is violence towards women, and that's like the core tenets of this whole all these killings. All like pretty much all the men, at least 3 out of 5, I think, were noted to be violent either towards their own wives or towards the sex workers in this brothel.
I'm not too familiar with places like this, but I believe that's where the fun happens.
I see. Okay. Maybe he knows a bit about Lily.
Chief Snelling?
Yes, Fordham?
Do you recall a murder involving a woman named Lily Peterson about a year ago?
Justice for Lily, hence the Easter Lilies, yeah.
Yes, that name does sound familiar. Of course, the prostitute murder. That wasn't one of yours, was it?
No, it wasn't. Do you remember any other details?
As I recall, the woman was beaten severely by one of her clients, who escaped and was never found. She died a few days later in the hospital. How is this of any relevance, exactly?
It's relevant.
That's what I'm trying to piece together. Did you know that Lily Peterson had a sister who was killed some 16 years ago?
I didn't. Are you suggesting that's related somehow?
Let me investigate things. I need to just get more information,
case
dude.
file?
What was the victim's name?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
That might be a bit more difficult, unless you can give me more details.
I'll try my best.
Very well. What year did you say the case
Serafina
was
said
from?
the man was mortally wounded. Yeah, that's... It's possible that he might not have died. 1830... Hold on. I don't know. I don't know what year... Damn it. What could it be from? Don't have a think here. This takes place near. Yeah. I'm gonna. Let's just go with the middle one.
It was 16 years ago, so 1828.
Yeah.
Right. And who was the detective assigned to the case?
I don't know.
Don't know.
You realize that will make it significantly more difficult to find the file.
Perhaps we'll get lucky.
And what was the victim's official cause of death?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
That's really not going to be much help. All right. I'll have a look and see if I find anything.
I need more information before we can really look into this.
I suggest you get your details in order before you attempt to waste my time.
Actually, I skipped a line there. All right, we need to find out more details of the sister then. Well, we can ask this lady about
Begging your pardon,
a few
miss.
more things actually.
How can I help you, sir?
I spoke with your friend Ruby. She told me something quite disturbing.
What was that?
She said that Ennis had fits of violence, and that the reason you ended your relationship was because he hit you.
Why would she tell you that? That was my secret to tell, not hers. I thought we were friends.
It's obvious she cares about you and was worried about your well-being.
Well, it hardly matters now Ennis is dead, does it?
But is it true? Did he raise his hand
It's
to you?
important to the case, man.
Yes, it is true. As I said before, something changed in him. I have no idea what, but I had to get away.
I see. Thank you for your honesty. I'm sorry you had to experience what you did. I'll let you get back to work.
Thank you, sir.
Need to find out more about this sister who died. Well, actually, I might be able to confront her about.
Hello again, Mr. Fordham.
I'm gonna save actually, just in case it touches upon a sore subject. Sore subject. That's
Can we talk some more, Mrs. McDonough?
I suppose so, yes.
Do you know anything about this letter?
I'm afraid I don't have my spectacles. What is it?
The coroner found it in your husband's pocket. He gave it to me because he thought it was blank.
Ah.
But after you told me about your husband's propensity for writing secret messages, I decided to try exposing the paper to heat. Allow me to read it to you. Dearest Mary, words cannot express the regret and sorrow I feel for how I acted last night. I swore to myself I would never harm you again after the last time.
Oh, it was more than
but I
once.
have failed us both. It is my deepest hope that you can forgive me and trust that I will never allow this monster out again.
So this guy was a serial
I
abuser.
I see. May I have that letter, Mr. Fordham?
I'm afraid I have to keep it for now. It's evidence.
I suppose that that does make sense.
Mrs. McDonough, did
There's some
Percival
heavy
mistreat
stuff
or abuse you?
in this
He wasn't a bad
right now.
man, Mr. Fordham. I wouldn't have married him if he was. It's just the stress of his responsibilities
women in this game
would
definitely deserve
sometimes
better,
oppress
yeah.
him. I would try and offer comfort, soothe his nerves, but there were a few instances where he lost control of his passions.
Did he ever hit you?
He did.
How many times did this happen?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe 2 or 3. You don't exactly count these things.
What a bastard. Maybe it serves him right for getting shot.
Thank you for your candor, Mrs. McDonough.
Are you saying there was
Can
maybe
we
some
please talk
justice
about
in that
something
killing, Bill?
else?
Those are all the questions I have for now, Mrs. McDonough.
All right, Mr. Fordham.
Okay, we got quite a bit of evidence now. That's what I've been thinking, Stars. The people who have been targeted by these justice killings are people who have been abusers of women. Where do we need to go now? trying to think where to go next. I wanted to find out more about... This guy's still here.
No time to...
Okay, he hasn't got anything else to talk about. I don't think we need to... He's just still hanging out there. Still concerned there was no easterly at Percival's office. Yeah, that's kind of confusing me as well. I still think there could be a copycat situation with that. Or, you know, coincidence. They ended up being more linked than I initially anticipated. Let's see if there's anything else I can ask.
Leave him.
Anyone else? Is any avenues opening up right now? Only place I can think to go back to right now is the Gilded Lily.
We've exhausted.
Let's teleport to that door. Okay, we've got more conversation here.
So, Ruby.
Yes?
Serafina told me that Lily's possessions are still here. Do you know where they're kept?
Ah.
Yeah, in that cabinet over there. Lily had a special place in Serafina's heart. I don't think she has the nerve to get rid of this stuff yet.
Do you think I could take a look through it?
Oh, I don't know.
Serafina never has to know. I promise I'll only look, not touch.
If I had a crown for every time I'd heard that.
Okay.
But, alright. As long as you keep your word and don't take anything from the box, I'll let you have a look. I'll get it for you after.
I'll just leave you to it then.
Thanks, love.
I wonder if that strip of paper with the number combination on it
all yours for the browsing.
has any relevance. Okay.
A cheap ring. Must have had sentimental value because otherwise there'd be no point in keeping it. These don't look too valuable. Nice scarf, impressively clean too. Lily clearly took care of her things. Let's see what we have in here.
A letter. This should be the most important thing. Dear Miss Peterson, while it is an orthodox practice for a detective to maintain contact with the relatives of a victim after the case has been closed, your story has touched me on a deeper level. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to help you during this difficult time. I understand that you have decided to take it upon yourself to raise your sister's son, and for that I commend and respect your strength of will. Again, do not hesitate to contact me if there's anything else I can do to help. Detective Lester Barnett. So that's a detective. We don't have the ear, though. The ear's been torn off, unfortunately. That does give us a bit of extra information, though, at least.
That's a nice...
The year is 1828 because it was 16 years ago. We know the detective. Okay, yeah. Would it be specific? Okay, hold on. Yeah. Maybe? Okay, yeah. Must be. I guess we got 1828 right then.
Down in her prime.
You think Lily raised his son? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe the son is the one doing the killings. He might be old enough now. Yeah, now I'm getting somewhere. It depends how old he was. Like, you know, if he was still living with his mother, he could easily be up to around, you know, 12 at most. So yeah, easily would be old enough to be roaming the streets, being a sort of proverbial Batman figure for abused women. Well, Batman doesn't kill people. More like a what's he called? Nightwing? Nightwing has killed people before, hasn't he? Punisher's probably a better example, actually. Red Hood. That's it, Red Hood. I think Nightwing might have Yeah. Actually, this is the wrong place. Whoops. But if my domestic violence is so important because, yeah, his mother was killed by his mother wasn't killed by her husband. Her mother was killed by just somebody who happened to one of the clients. So we don't exactly know who that was. All right. I would hazard a guess
Snelling?
that shooting
Yes,
might
Fordham?
be the method, because shooting oh yeah, his yeah, okay. You might be right there.
I can find it. What?
1828.
It was 16 years ago.
Right.
It was Lester Barnett.
It was Lester Barnett.
Right. He was quite active in those days. And what was the victim's official cause of death?
Oh. Did we find this out specifically? I think it sounds like she might have been stabbed. I'm gonna go with stabbing.
It was a stabbing.
All right. I'll have a look and see if I find
I don't know. I mean, you didn't get the answer, I think. Okay. Okay.
There's no. I suggest you get.
I don't know what to say. You might be right there, yeah. Need to see if we can find the cause of death. Maybe
We've exhausted.
Okay. Cause of death.
I think we're good. I'm guessing this is where.
I'm just trying to think where we could possibly even find this.
That's a nice line.
We did find like a thing as well, didn't we? Rolled up piece of paper with this sequence 313213. I've spoken to the nervous man. He was just a random. I think he's just a random NPC. The only like interaction you can have on him is just like a magnifying glass, I believe, unless it's opened up now.
Looks nervous.
Yeah, it's just he's just someone you can look at, and that's a nice looking painting there.
You certainly won't find art like that at the National Gallery.
That's true.
Oh, my virgin eyes.
Oh, Bill.
What a charming statue. Wouldn't she get cold fetching water in that state of undress?
Okay. Huh. Part of me wonders if there's anything else down here.
Just another unmarked. Just another.
Okay. Guess not. What are those numbers relevant for? The numbers from the locket. What are they relevant for? Oh, I'm gonna go into here for a second.
Therein lies.
I can't look at that anymore. Okay. I wonder, do the numbers come up at all? Small rolled up piece of paper. What could this sequence possibly be for? There's 7 numbers. Yes. 7 numbers. 7 numbers. I'm not sure where to take this right now. My brain is ticking away. That's why I'm not talking as much. Can I talk to this guy at all?
He seems rather...
Yeah, I don't think so. No idea where. I guess it goes. Wherever it goes, it needs 7 slots. Yeah. I feel like there must be something we're missing with the with this. I get the feeling. Maybe for a dial, perhaps. Oh, there's buttons here.
One of 3 buttons with an engraved lily on it.
Ah!
I wonder if they're just decorative or if they have some other purpose.
I think I know what we need to do with them. I think I figured it out. Okay. 313-2213. 313-2213. Aha!
Well now, I think we just found ourselves a bonanza.
These might be very handy. Aunt Lily. I tried. God knows I tried. But I couldn't let that bastard get away with his crime. I refused to watch you suffer the same fate as Mother. Justice had to be done. I've snuffed out his life just as he tried to choke yours out of your body. The blood that stained his letter is his. Yep, it's the son. It is the son. As I write this, you're in a hospital bed, unconscious. I don't know if I'll ever be able to speak with you again, but I am placing this letter in your secret place in the hope that you will someday be able to read it. In the meantime, I've discovered my true calling. I must dispense justice to those who harm innocent women. Yep. I've seen the cycle of violence go on for far too long. I've lost both my mother and aunt to violent men, and I must stop this from happening again. I spoke with Gloria, and she told me she had been violated by one of her clients, an ironworker named Hannibal Kirkland. There we go. I will observe his habits until the time is right to strike. After he's taken care of, I will find others and always do this and do the same until this wretched city is scrubbed clean. I need to send a message. Love to you always. Doesn't look like there was a name with that though. But interesting. I just love when the killer just lays out all his motivations. Yeah, very handy. He kept the same last name in his family. Yeah, so Peterson. We must be able to. It was choking, wasn't it? You sly dog! You caught me monologuing.
Yes, Fordham.
All right.
I could. What?
1828.
It was right.
It was
right,
and it was strangulation.
All right. I'll have a look and see if I find anything. Yes. Here we are. This should be a match. Have a look.
All right, New Britannia Police Department.
So we have our killer's last name and possible first name, assuming he's the same man Linda Walker talked about. Perhaps it's time to ask about him at the docks.
Right, so victim name. Liam Collins, Daisy Collins, victim age 37, 34. Cause death, gunshot, self-inflicted strangulation. Police were notified after a neighbour heard shouting and general commotion from the Collins apartment. Upon arrival, they found Daisy Collins in the living room with clear signs of strangulation. In the bedroom, they found Liam Collins, the apparent victim of a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Searching the rest of the apartments, officers found a young child, aged approximately 4 years old, hiding in a closet. The child did not respond to questions and was visibly upset. Detective Lester Barnett conducted an investigation and determined that Liam Collins attacked his wife, likely under the influence of alcohol, and accidentally caused her death. Upon realizing what he had done, he used his own pistol to take his life. The child has been taken into police custody and is awaiting transfer to an orphanage if no next of kin is located. Right. So now we got to go basically to verify if Samuel Collins works at the docks. Looks like we may have found our man. I'm going to, once again, save my game. I'm going to say found our man? Question mark? Ah, Trevor Hastings.
Trevor Hastings, is that you?
I remember you from the beginning of the
Detective
game.
Fordham. Fancy seeing you again. What brings you down to the docks?
I'm trying to track down a serial murderer, who I believe is the same man who was breaking into the flower shop.
You don't say. I wish I could help you, but the guy never came back after the night you and your partner came around. Where is your partner anyway?
Yeah, about that.
Around.
Well, give him my regards. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get this crate back, or Cecilia will have my head on a platter.
Of course. Good seeing you again.
He's around? That's probably the most clever thing you've said in months. Well done.
It was like, you know, not technically a lie, but not technically the truth.
Huh? What? Who is it?
Hello, sir. I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions.
Go ahead, but make it quick. Time is money, after all.
Okay, Mr. Moneybags.
Are you familiar with the Justice Killer?
I believe I saw a headline in the newspaper recently mentioning that name, but I dismissed it as fear-mongering
Nice
nonsense. There are more important things I need to worry about.
Okay.
The Justice Killer is directly responsible for the death of one of your workers.
Oh? Is that right? Well, there's nothing I can do about it. What my men get up to in their off time is none of my business.
Huh.
Wow, this guy is even worse than you, Miles.
Quiet, Bill.
Do you know a man named Samuel Collins?
Yes, I do. He's one of my
Laughs
workers.
in top hat.
Is he working today?
No, it's his day off. Why do you ask?
I need to find him.
I'm very interested in speaking with him. Could you tell me where I can find him?
I don't just give out information on
Oh
my
my
men to
God.
strangers. What reason do you have for wanting to speak with him?
Yeah, I may have killed a few
He may be
people.
involved in some serious crimes.
Is that right? And what are these serious crimes exactly?
Ooh. We could say that he's the Justice Killer, which would be with the truth, but this guy doesn't seem to give a crap about it at all. If we say that he's stealing from you or stealing from one of his customers, I reckon he'd be more interested in that. It might also be, yeah, you know what?
I believe he's stealing money from you and your business.
Mm-hmm.
What? Do you have proof of this?
No.
Well,
I guess I don't.
Stop wasting my time then.
All right, so I guess we need some kind of proof. Right. Huh.
What does your work here involve?
I'm in charge of tracking
Maybe we could
and
fake some
cataloging
proof.
all the cargo
Exactly,
that
do some
passes
forgeries.
through here. I receive the shipping manifest and make sure that things get unloaded.
Might be
and
easier to get
sent the
some
right place.
forgeries from another
Can you do all
business.
this by yourself?
Well, of course not. I'm in charge of administration. A team of workers does all the heavy lifting.
Thank you for your time. I'll let you return to work.
Right, you are.
Okay. Maybe this guy can give us a
Keep up the
hand.
Good work, Mr. Hastings.
Ah, the chum. You can never truly get away from it as much as you may try.
Okay. Maybe we can go to somewhere where things are shipped to, and yeah, find a way to get some forgery. So maybe this guy can.
He
help.
seems right.
Not that one then. Okay. Or maybe these guys can help us.
Leave him.
No, he can't. Here. I'm trying to have a think here. Ruined coffee house? Probably not. Probably not, but no. I'm just going into random places, opening the door, and then leaving again. Is there something that he can help me with?
No need to talk.
Okay, never mind then. I actually don't think there's any reason we need to be here, is there? I'm trying to have a think what we should do here. Imagine being an NPC in this game and just watch the player character come in and out of your establishment about 50 times without buying anything or saying a word. Yeah. Oh, there's actually a really good bit in Sam & Max Season 2 where you meet, like, Sam and Max from the past, and the Sam from the past walks around the room examining things like a point-and-click adventure game protagonist, like commenting and things and going, I can't pick that up. It's so good. It's such a good bit. I absolutely adore that. All right. Everything about how the last season of Sam Max went grim, dark, serious for no reason. It was a lot more like sort of drama to it. I still enjoyed it, but yeah, it definitely felt very different. Trying to have a think now. Yeah, straight up killed off Max. Yeah, it was killed off in quotation marks, but.
You again?
A few more questions.
Maybe I can get this guy to trust me if we just...
About...
Yes? What a...
I believe Samuel's the Justice Killer.
What? That's absolutely preposterous. You've got quite some imagination, sir. And here I thought you were serious.
Okay.
About... I believe he...
What? From who?
The Hanbrook Flower Shop.
Ah, I was thinking maybe we could do that.
The Hanbrook
That's actually
Flower
true.
Shop.
Okay.
They're not one of my customers. I only sell to wholesalers.
A minor detail. The point remains that your man's a burglar.
That's quite a serious claim. What proof do you have?
You can hear it straight from the man who works at the shop that was burgled.
Well, where is he then?
He's right here.
Right here, just a moment.
I should have done this all along. I was thinking actually we get the flower shop
Excuse me,
involved.
Mr. Hastings?
What is it, Detective? As I said, I'm rather busy.
I was wondering if you might help me with something. Could you please tell the shipping manager over there about the burglaries at your flower shop?
Certainly.
Go ahead, Mr. Hastings.
Right. It all started around 5 months ago.
Okay, you're telling the whole story.
And he didn't come around again after that night.
Thank you, Mr. Hastings. That'll do.
Now do you believe me, Mr. Fancy Pants?
Now are you convinced?
Fine. I hate to lose 2 of my men in such a short amount of time. But if he's done wrong, I can't just stand by. Samuel lives in Chumley, at 210 Abattoir Row.
Abattoir,
Thank you, sir. You may have just saved several lives.
But I'm going to have to spend several crowns in order to get things back to normal. Now, if you'll excuse me...
This is the kind of guy who's like, but the economy. But the economy, guys. My profits. Oh boy, here we go.
Samuel Collins?
Yes?
I'm Terrence Shackley from the Labor Department. I wanted to ask you some questions about your employer at the docks.
Oh, of course. Please come in.
Yeah, it definitely is a little bit strange.
I'm sorry. What did you say your name was?
Terrence Shackley? But it's not my real name. I just used it to get into your apartment.
Yeah.
I believe you did something similar at the Houses of Parliament with Mr. McDonough.
So, you're Fordham. The one who was snooping around at the Gilded Lily.
Oh,
Indeed.
we've got you,
We
buddy.
meet again, Mr. Collins.
Of course. The rooftop.
We got him.
I'm
Well,
sorry about what happened to your partner. It wasn't my intent for him to die.
Oh, he's sorry, is he? Is that supposed to make things better?
I suppose this encounter was...
we kind of went into here a little bit.
I admit I didn't think it would be this soon. So, you're here to arrest me.
I don't want to say anything rash.
That's right. Samuel Collins, I'm placing you under arrest for the murders of Percival McDonough, Burley Cause, Ennis Bowditch, Hannibal Kirkland, and Reggie Willingham.
Oh, please. Every one of those men deserve what they got.
I mean, you're not wrong. You know, no one deserves to be shot in the head. You know, you gotta have due process and all that.
Nobody deserves to be shot in the head.
I'm sure your feeling would change if your wife was violated. Surprised I know about her? After our first encounter, I did my own investigation. I had to know what kind of man you were. You were innocent of any wrongdoing. Otherwise, we would have met much sooner.
I understand your reasons, but that doesn't mean your actions were justified. You need to pay for your crimes, one way or another.
My crimes? What about theirs? If not for me, they would have gotten away with them.
There are other ways of upholding justice, Collins. Ways that don't involve mass murder.
The system is broken. Criminals get away all the time.
That
You
doesn't
know that.
justify vigilante
Only
justice,
too
though.
well. But you comprehend my situation. You understand my reasons for doing what I do.
Understanding is not the same as approval.
But it is the first step.
Is this bastard really suggesting what I think he is?
All I ask is that you allow me to continue my work in peace.
You asked me to look the other way once before, and I refused.
Yes, and it cost your partner's life.
Well, this time it's just you and me, and I'm still not going to let you off.
Hell yeah, I'm not
You're
gonna
out
let
of
you
your
off.
mind if you think I'm going to just let you keep killing.
Damn right, Miles. This has to end.
Let's end this.
Then you leave me no
Oh god.
choice.
Oh no! Okay.
Fordham, are you alright?
That he suddenly came in, didn't he?
Yes, I'm fine.
I thought we were gonna
That
die
guy got a
there.
better shot than I was.
So, this is our justice killer?
That's right.
I suppose congratulations are in order. You did well in finding him.
Thank you, Chief Snelling. I'm glad we were finally able to work together.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you weren't so brash as to confront him without notifying me first. Perhaps there is hope for you yet. Now then, I'll go get the other officers so we can lock down the scene and remove the body. Wait here.
Quite a night, hey, Bill? Bill? Are you
Oh,
there?
Bill's gone.
Bill?
He's gotten the piece he needed. Well.
It's good of you to do this, Miles. Do you need some time alone?
If you wouldn't mind.
All right. I'll wait for you over by the sycamores.
So, it's finally over. I have to admit, it's been strange not hearing you all the time anymore. Never in a million years did I think I would actually miss it.
Yeah, I kind of miss it too.
But the important thing is you've moved on, and I got what I was looking for. I'm starting up my own private detective agency, you know.
Hold on, what's that?
Addie and Upton are going to be my partners. It should be interesting, to say the least.
I'm just like looking at this gravestone here.
Oh, that reminds me. I brought you a little something.
It says, "Here lies Cornelius Grumble. We're glad he's dead."
It's not much, but I thought you might appreciate it.
Aw.
Thank you for all your help, Bill. I truly would have been lost without it.
Bill, wake up. Your grave is on fire. I had to throw back to the beginning of the game. Aw, it's cute.
Bill, wake up! Your grave is on fire! Well, I thought it was funny. Goodbye, old friend.
I got an achievement for that.
I love you.
Ah, there we go. Lamplight City. What a game! I really enjoyed that. That was definitely a fun time. Whoa! I wasn't expecting this choir. Okay. The thing is, we didn't actually get all the cases correct. I wonder if the ending's slightly different if you get all of them right. I might have to do a bit of investigation there. I said actually on Twitter that I was thinking of doing a video on this game. And I'm definitely considering it now. Like, I think it would be a really, really good thing to talk about. Because there's just so many interesting things about this game. I had an absolute blast with this. Bill and Samuel voiced by the same person. That's probably not relevant, but it's interesting. And lots of people are voiced by the same people, I suppose. Mark Venus, he said. Yeah, I'm wondering if you do get a different ending if you solve all the cases correctly. Because I got, there was 5 cases overall, including the last one, and I think I got 3 out of 5 right. I'm not going to start again, Center. But I definitely got the first one wrong, because there was like some evidence that I missed, clearly, and I accused Juliet Montgomery too early. Case 3, because I accused Juliet, I got locked out of some evidence for case 3. So basically, it kind of all went a bit to pot when I missed a bit of evidence. So yes. Also, the developer Francisco Gonzalez, he's working on another game set in the same universe at the moment, called Rosewater. Rosewater is actually going to be like a western. So it's basically like set like in the west of this universe. And you play as Harley Leisure, who is Bill's sister. So actually, I'm really quite excited about that. It's going to be coming out next year, I think. And he's like posting development updates on his Twitter. So yeah. And also, I think you can sort of support the game by adding Rosewater to your Steam wishlist. I think that helps indie devs somehow. I don't exactly know. Hope Harley's as sassy as Bill. I hope so too. Yeah. Let's see if I recognize any of the names in the beta. Frederick Olsen is a name I recognize, actually. I think I've seen that name around before. I've heard the name Richard Cobbett, Ben Chandler, yeah. Being in the sort of the adventure game sphere, I've heard a few of these names. Dave Gilbert, I know. Saw a few Dutch names in there. Jacob Janerka. If you guys have seen the pitch for the Seinfeld game, that's Jacob Janerka. He also did Paradigm. None of these other names are jumping out to me right now. Okay, and thank you for playing. Ah, you're welcome. Thank you for making such a brilliant game, Francisco. I am very much looking forward to the other ones you have in store. I think he's done quite a few other adventure games as well. I can't remember. Oh, he's there! Hey, you're right in the chat. Oh god, I wasn't expecting you to be listening. Everyone say hi to the dev. He's in the chat right now. Yeah, this was a bonus content locked in the settings menu. Okay. Let's have a look. Bloopers, concept art. Ah, okay. I'll look at some concept art. And then we'll get the stream wrapped up. yeah, I really had fun with this. This was a really cool game. I'm definitely thinking of doing a video on it as well. Once I get this massive Monkey Island video out the way, which is currently about 76 minutes long, so some cool concepts. First version of Miles' portrait. Spooky house. It's definitely due for like a replay as well, because I definitely missed a few things. Alright. I'm going to just switch over to my camera. Hi everybody. How is it going? And I'm going to set a raid going as well. I might notice a brief amount of lag while I'm opening up Google Chrome. Okay. Let's mute that. Who is currently... Oh, Weed's streaming. I didn't realize Weed was streaming today. Alright, fair enough. I'll send you guys over to Weird. Well, I can't think of a raid phrase. If anyone can think of a raid phrase, we'll go with it. Maybe it should be Bill, or we avenged Bill. I don't know, something along those lines. All right. So we're gonna. Weird is playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. He's been playing that a lot. I don't really know. Wake up! Your stream is on fire. Oh my god. Yes, your stream is on fire. I'm going with that one, Remole. That is really good. And the other people suggested similar things. Perks and Ebac. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's get this raid going. So thank you for coming along. My next stream, I don't know when it'll be. It should be Tuesday. But next Thursday, I'll be starting a new adventure game, and I'll put that up to a vote on Twitter soon. So, thank you for watching. This game was great, and I will see you guys in the next stream.